My name is Dr. Karambu Ringera. I work with an organization called International Peace Initiatives. At International Peace Initiatives, we believe that peace is not just the absence of war, but it is when people have resources to meet their basic needs. At IPI, we have a number of programs, and one of them is BOLD, B-O-L-D, which stands for Bettering Our Lives by Design. At BOLD, we made an intentional commitment to take charge of our lives as women living with HIV and AIDS in my region. We recognize that when women lost their husbands to HIV and AIDS, most of them were being evicted from their matrimonial home. They were blamed for the death of their husbands, and they were told they had bewitched them, and that many of them are living in slum-like situations. And so very many of them started coming to IPI to ask for help, and my philosophy is to ask someone to tell me how they are willing to help themselves, because I don't know how to help people. And this question sets women through a path of thinking about what they really can do to help themselves. And so when the women came to ask me how I can help them, and I told them to tell me how they can help themselves, they went back and met as a group, and they figured that they can make jewelry. And that is how the Beads for Peace project started, called Beads for Peace, because when the women made the jewelry, they were at peace, because they knew they would create an income to buy medication, to feed their children, and to feed themselves too, including to pay school fees for their children. And so this has become a project of empowerment and transforming our lives as women, because the first thing that we did was to ask ourselves who we are in this world. And so when we understood who we really are as human beings and human spirits in this life at this time, then the women were able to see that there's nothing that is impossible when they took the decision and made the choice to take charge of their lives. The approach that we use with the project is for women to sit in circle in groups where they make the jewelry, and then they will come and sell it to IPI. They will also sell it to other groups that come to buy from them. We also have women who come to make the jewelry in our workshop, especially when I have orders, and or when a woman needs money, they will come and ask for work to do. And I say, make this jewelry. When we sell it, it is where we get money to support you in the areas of the education of the children, buying food, going to get medication, and things like that. So it has become really a powerful source of dialogue with ourselves and finding out who we really are as human beings and women in our region. The amazing thing that has happened is that when women find who they are, you cannot stop them. They're absolutely unstoppable. And when women recognize that they have partners and friends who are willing to support their initiative, they become absolutely delighted. And so you're going to see women singing, women making jewelry, women just being the awesome, nourishing mothers and who they are, nourishing mothers in their homes and in their community. So it's a project that has taught us we are able, we can, and nothing is impossible. It has enabled the women to come out and live positively with HIV and AIDS, and they join me in conferences and in various community forums to come out and say, look at me, tell me whether you think I am HIV positive, because they've really taken care of themselves, and now they are thriving and they don't have the physical manifestations of someone who is carrying the virus. And so people get shocked when they see how healthy they are and how happy they are, because they have chosen to live positively with HIV and AIDS. So the name HIV and AIDS, you know, the plus, they say that is what they recognize in that word. It is positive because they are positive and they are living positively. This project has enabled the women to do amazing things. They have bought water tanks, they have educated their children, they have been able to feed themselves, and more importantly, they have been an inspiration in the community, because people have seen what can happen when people come together as a group and decide we are the hope we've been looking for. And so women who in the beginning were helpless, wanted to kill themselves and their children, have discovered that they are the hope they've been looking for, and therefore they are providing that hope for themselves, their families, and the community. I am very blessed to be able to work with the women. They have also taught me to find who I am in community, and together we have created a partnership that is transforming how women are perceived in our community, and we have created an awesome movement of women who are discovering the power that they hold and how they can use that for positive change in their lives and also in the community.
So, Karambu, how is we selling jewellery actually impacting on the life of the women, their families, and IPI?
This partnership between St. Auban's Soroptimist group and
anyone who's selling the jewellery,
and all the people that are selling the jewellery on our behalf, I would love to share with you what difference it is making in the lives of women. When we called the project Beat for Peace, it was because the women realize that when they sit down and make the jewelry, they recognize it's going to bring in an income. So what that means is that it changed the mindset of the women in terms of having a dependency syndrome, thinking that only when they have a man in their life can they make it in life. And so when they started making their own income, they started doing their own farming, you know, like they could lease land and plant their own crops. They could pay school fees for their children. They discovered freedom. They discovered that they can take charge of their lives. And so this partnership is really important also because for the girls who were being threatened with early marriages or dropping out of school because the families didn't have money, what this project has meant is that 4 of those girls will stay in school. 4 of those girls have stayed in school and they are doing very well. And I am sure they are going to change the circumstances of their families and support their siblings once they finish school. In addition, this partnership also enables the women to appreciate friendship across cultures. For people who haven't seen them, but who have heard their story and who trust and believe in the potential of these women, has been a very empowering aspect of the workshop, of the partnership. And I also hope that by supporting us through selling of this jewelry, you recognize how your contribution is really transforming not just our women, but also your space here and yourselves also, recognizing that you're making a difference at a global level. That is really very powerful. And I hope that in selling the jewelry, hearing and sharing the story of the women, you also find an aspect in your life that you can transform, that you can empower because of what you're able to do for someone else that you don't even know, that you haven't even met. So this is very important for me and my work, because I believe that world peace is going to come through these relationship building partnerships. So I want to honor and thank you for partnering with us to make a difference in the lives of women living with AIDS in Kenya, for making a difference in the lives of children who've lost their parents because of HIV and AIDS, and for girls who might have dropped out of school, but because of your stand with them, they'll be able to complete their education and find a path, a career that will help them support other people like them. Thank you. God bless. Namaste.